This guy is Robert Kiyosaki. He wrote the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This book is probably one of the most famous books when it comes to entrepreneurship and success and how to invest your money wisely. He said in one of his videos that he never used any of his own money for any investments that he did. I'm not sure how he got the money. Was it bank loans? Was it investors' money? I'm pretty sure it's one of them, but the idea is that you can make investments without using your own money, and you can make really profitable investments at that. If you think you're financially free and abundant, there's one easy way to calculate all of that. What will happen now if you quit your job? Will you be able to survive, and how long will you be able to survive? Maybe you quit your job or your business or whatever you're doing now, you can survive for 2 months, that's not abundance. 6 months, that's not abundance. For a few years, that is some sort of abundance because still you can manage and then you can find some other gig. But the best thing would be that you can quit today and your money would make money for you, which is what investors do, or your business would make money for you. So there are 4 blocks usually where people place themselves. One is the most famous one where you exchange time for money, aka you're the employee of a company. And that is the worst place to be in because you pay lots of taxes and you never have freedom and you mostly work for 67 years of your life. Some people die at 70, so you really don't enjoy life at all. You work all your life. The second category is self-employed, where you have your own business but you pay a lot of taxes. In Canada, self-employed people pay the most amount of taxes and still you're working. You have your own maybe teaching business like myself, and if I teach all the time and I don't have someone to delegate to, I can never enjoy. I would never have freedom. I am my own boss, but I'm also making myself work as my own boss. The third person is the business person, and the business person has people working for him. He or she has freedom, and this person can delegate, make money from employees and not work. That is freedom. And the fourth category, which a lot of people want to be in, is the investor category. That's where your money makes money automatically while you're sleeping because you have invested that in some good places. So you can either be a business person or an investor. Today we're going to talk about you being an investor without any money at all. Now there are a few requirements behind this. One is you need to have a job or an income, something where you have stable income. Could be from business because, as I mentioned, people who are doing a job, they're usually not very successful financially, but that is why this video is for a lot of people who are working in some place because you have a job and you're looking for a side gig, you're looking to get some freedom. This video is for you. Check it out till the end. There are many real practical advices I'm going to give you. This video is going to be based on everything practical, no fluff, just real details and implications of what you're going to do and how you're going to implement all these things. Okay, so you have something stable, a business income, or you have funds to show, or you have collateral. Maybe you have some fund value already, or you have some property which can be put as collateral, or you have those income, which is pay stubs, I should say, consistently. Why you need this for what I'm going to tell you is because you're going to take that consistent pay, that income, or that collateral, you're going to take that to a bank or a credit union or a lender and ask for a loan. Now, loans shouldn't really scare you. There's some really good loans. Not talking about the ones with a credit card where you pay 20% interest, but we're talking about lines of credits, which are the most flexible methods of payments. They're in Canada for sure. I don't know if you guys are watching internationally, if you have some sort of system like that, where you have an open line of credit. You have a $30,000 line of credit, for example. You can take money from there anytime and you can pay it off whenever you like to. Every month, or every year I should say, you're going to accrue interest, and that's usually anywhere from 3% to 12% depending on your credit history and your income and so on. So line of credits are pretty good. Bank loans are pretty good. Bank loans are available all over the world, and family loans are available all over the world as well. Make sure with family loans you are giving back interest because you don't want disruptions in the family. You don't want to take too many favors. So you go to a bank or this financial institution or a lender and ask for money and a certain amount of money. We can make everything work. In today's lesson, I'm going to tell you about everything you can do in life with just $20,000 worth of loan, and that's not a hard amount to get to. If you are already working, any bank should be able to lend you $20,000, and if you're international, if you're in another country, just convert it into your currency. I'm sure you can get about the same or a bit more or a bit less if you're working consistently. So you go in a bank, you get a loan, and we're going to assume that you have good terms on the loan. Okay, let's talk about a loan which is giving you an interest rate or charging an interest rate between 3 to 7%. Okay, 3 to 7% means you still have the chance to invest your money in something which can give you a higher return, maybe a 10% return, and you can use that extra 3 to 4 or 5%, that extra return, and you can make that money. Now let me tell you some places where you can get started right away, and we're going to talk about very less risky things, and that's why the first thing I'm going to tell you is don't start your business with any borrowed money. And you might expect that as a business person, my first advice would be completely different, but this is what we have learned in business. This is what you will see if you just even type, because I've typed this before. Type, should I start my business with a loan? You will see the experts and everybody who's in business telling you not to do that, because mostly when your business is good, you don't need to take loans. You make profit from that business, and with that money, you can automatically invest and do a lot of things with that money. You don't have to take a loan for a business. So it provides value, it should provide profit. If you're taking a loan and you're starting something that you have never tried before, there's a very high chance you're gonna lose money, and that's why 90% businesses fail. I don't know where this idea comes from that you need money to start a business, because again, if you put money in something which hasn't been tested, which has no reviews, which has no value, no experience, and you don't have expertise in it, all you think is, if I have money I can start a business, you're gonna fail. So please don't do that. Never borrow money for business. I'm saying it, and I can guarantee you every single expert online says the same thing. There are of course exceptions, but mostly you will fail if you go that route. Let's talk about something safer. Have you heard about dividend stock investing? If not, I'll tell you about it. Dividend stock investing is you investing in companies which are offering you dividends. This is done by a lot of professional companies, a lot of top companies in the world, and that's why you know you're not going to be scammed. I'm not sure if Amazon, Google, or these companies do it, but a lot of top companies do it. You just have to research on it. So what they say is, buy our stock and we're going to give you dividends of 10% every year. 10% of what? 10% of what you spend. So if you take a loan of $20,000, you have a 3%, you got a really good interest rate, you have a 3% interest rate, you have to pay the bank 3% back. But this company, it could also be your local company, it doesn't have to be Google or IBM, any company you invest in. This is giving you 10% return back, you save 7%, or I should say you earn 7% on that $20,000. Next year, you can take the 7%, invest again in that company, and now you're gonna earn more again. So you have money from the bank, or you have loan from someone, which is not your money, but you're making money on that loan, on that investment. That loan, I should say, has become an investment for you, and now it's making money automatically. So you didn't earn this money, but you're making more money on top of this, which is amazing, isn't it? So search for dividend stock with different companies. It could be in your local area, it could be a friend's company that you know of, or it could be the top companies, the biggest names in the world. The next thing is index funds. So index funds is yet and again a very, very safe source of investing. Now, you would think about mutual funds as well. And if you are in Asia, I know in Asia, mutual funds are amazing. You know, they have like 10 to 15% rate of return. And again, if you get a loan with a less interest charge, maybe the bank charges you 5% to give you the loan, but you invest in mutual funds and you get 15%, you're making a lot of money. But if you're in Canada, we know mutual funds are terrible. They have 5 to 6% rate of return, and bonds are even worse. They have 3% rate of return. Right now, inflation is about 5 to 6% in the US, and I don't know how much in Canada, but if you have bonds, you're actually losing money because inflation is higher. So the next best thing is mutual funds. Now in Asia, go for that. In Canada or the US, go for index funds. Index funds, you can go to your bank and talk to them about it. They can open index funds for you. You can also research your favorite companies and online open up index funds with those companies separately if you want to. However, if you're a beginner, do some research and definitely go to your bank to open some index funds. What they do is provide you a very safe, almost guaranteed investment. Now, nothing is completely guaranteed, but it is the safest thing you can have. These index funds have very good rate of returns, around 10%. We use the stock market for it, so we use the Toronto Stock Exchange or the Vancouver Stock Exchange in Canada, and there are companies there where you can invest in index funds and you get a very good rate of return. way better than doing nothing, way better than not investing anything. You get a good rate, 10 to 11 to 12%, and you make money from that. So index funds is the name. You want to research on that and get started on that. Another really popular thing you would hear about is house flipping. What is house flipping? Is simple. You buy a house which is very old-fashioned, very cheap looking. It's at a lower price. You renovate it and then you sell it at a profit. Now for this, you would need a little bit of higher loan. For example, let's say in Canada, you would need at least $40,000 to $60,000. Still, with this amount, you wouldn't be able to buy a house in a big city like Toronto or Vancouver. You would be, however, able to do that in smaller cities. And trust me, people who are in the construction business, who are in the real estate business, they move between cities just to get this business done because they cannot do that in big cities. So what you do is you get a loan of $20,000 to $30,000 first from the bank. Put the deposit on the home. This is your down payment or your closing costs combined, and you buy a house, which is a very old house, cheap looking house. Then your remaining money, which is another $30,000 to $40,000, and hoping you can get this much loan, you use that money to have renovations. Anyone can do this. Honestly, anyone can do this. If you go in a house, in a cheap house, anyone can tell, you know, this thing needs remodeling, this tiles need to be changed, this flooring needs to be changed. And if you're not an expert on it, you can become an expert within a few days online. So just check how people flip houses, how they renovate houses. You can do the same. Do some constructions, renovations on that house, and then you can sell it at a profit. Usually people are easily able to make a 25% return minimum on flipping houses. So if your house, the one you bought, was worth $200,000, again, a very cheap house in a small city, you would make within 6 to 8 months of renovation $250,000, a 25% return, $50,000 profit. This is very easy, very doable. And again, you're doing it with no money of your own. You're getting a loan from the bank and getting this done. Now, again, imagining you don't have the capacity to get a huge loan. What next can you do? You have $20,000 to $30,000. That's the max the bank is about to lend you. Okay, no problem. We won't flip the house. We won't renovate the house. We'll simply put it on rent. Once again, you would not have the money to have the down payment or the closing costs. That's why we're taking the loan from the bank, the $20,000 to $30,000. You get that loan. Now you have the down payment and the closing costs for this home. But you got to pay mortgage because all you did is made the down payment. So you're paying mortgage per month, right? But you have some people renting. When people are renting, your mortgage is being paid off and you're making profit on top of that. The last thing I'm going to tell you guys is a gold mine. This is something that a lot of people don't know about, yet it is a huge earning opportunity for anyone without any money. So here's the thing. It's called pre-booking or pre-selling. It happens a lot in Asia. So let me give an example of, let's say you can do this in India, Malaysia, Vietnam, in the Philippines, in different places. Let's say you're in India, okay? You get a loan from the bank for $20,000 and you buy an apartment or a condominium which is being built. The developer says it's going to be built in 5 years. That happens. It's usually a very long time for usually a huge complex that's being developed. And right now the developer needs a deposit of $20,000 to reserve that condominium for you. So you pay that and now that is yours. However, after it's built in 5 to 6 years, you got to pay maybe $1 million and you got to convert the currency. I'm just giving an example. So you got to pay $1 million after 5 to 6 years. So one, you find a way to come up with it. You're good with your money. You come up with the rest of the money and the condominium is yours and now you sell it. However, what a lot of smart investors do is they find a seller way before. So you got to pay the balance in the 5th year. By the 4th year, they're going to sell the condominium at whatever price it is at that moment and the market value. Within 4 years, that condominium, that apartment, that complex has already appreciated a lot. And it depends on different countries, but in some cases, it appreciates by 30%, by 40% overall in the 4 years because it's a new development and people are booking apartments like crazy. So now you can sell it, and if it was 1 million, for example, and there's a 40% appreciation in these 4 years, it's now going to be worth 1.4 million. You can earn $400,000 just by selling it, and remember, your investment was only $20,000. Okay, there is a risk. You don't find a seller, all your $20,000 are gone, but you got to look at it in a way where you have a lot more opportunity, a lot to earn. And if you don't earn it, you haven't done your research. You got to make sure that there are sellers in the market, that area, that complex is in huge demand. So when the time comes to sell it, you're able to sell it. And maybe you shouldn't start at the 4th year. You should start selling maybe at the 3rd year at a lower profit, but at least you find sellers because you have a huge timeline. This is called pre-selling or pre-booking. Very sound investment advice, a little risky, but a lot to earn. If it pays off a lot. And sometimes you would feel you don't even deserve it because you invested $20,000, not your own money, but you earned so much more, $400,000. In the next video, we're going to talk about yet another very interesting thing that's going on around, like it's a viral thing, everybody wants to do it. Shopify, drop shipping. People talk about that a lot, right? How you can do your own drop shipping business. It's almost in every YouTube ad. It is a legitimate thing, and it is something that people earn a lot of money from. We're going to cover that in a video next week. The next few videos are going to be about some other topics, but next week we're going to cover that. So stay tuned, subscribe, like, and share, and you'll get notification on this next video, which is going to be yet another money-making opportunity that you can start whoever you are. You have no background, you are nobody, you don't know anything about business, and you have no money right now. You can still start it, and it's really fruitful. So please subscribe, and you'll get the notification. I'll talk to you very soon. Take care.